What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chizop. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a fragrance. I just heard something. Is it just me, or when you hear something you be like, I don't know. Okay, so this is a fragrance that I didn't expect coming. So I'm scrolling on Sephora, just doing my daily scroll that I have absolutely no business doing, because that's the reason why my bank account be upset with me. Like, girl, can you get off Sephora, off Ulta, off all this other stuff and just sit down for 2 seconds? But I was scrolling, saw this fragrance from Brown Girl Jane. Now this is a fragrance house that honestly I dove into one time and was like, twin, where have you been? Like, where has this fragrance house been this entire time? I don't know. I guess I'm like late pulling up to the party. If you guys don't know, I have a review up on my channel of Carousel. That fragrance literally made me be like, wait a minute, like what's going on for real? Like, who's behind all of this? It was like a caramelized apple, but not in a kitty way. Take caramelized apple, cotton candy, sugar, and turn it into deep, sexy, smoky leather cherry. That's what it was, and it was so good. I recommended it for Valentine's Day. It was just such a good fragrance. I get off track. Y'all gonna have to get used to that a little bit, okay? But so I saw Casino. I posted it and you guys were like, oh yeah, it's already on the way. Oh, mine came today. Oh, I'm like, dang. Okay, so y'all, like, if y'all know about something and I ain't posted it, well, go ahead and let me know. This is Casino. So the marketing for this is kind of giving like gambling, a casino. Like, they're out, they got their pearls, their cards, that type of thing. There's coffee, martinis type of moment. So I do notice that kind of a lot of their fragrances have something to do with like a place or a time, I guess. I don't know, a noun, I don't know at this point. But anyway, Casino is what this fragrance is kind of inspired by. So if you guys don't know me, which some of you don't, some of you do, I love coffee, and I also love the smell of coffee. So give it to me all. Iced coffee, lattes, frappuccinos, like, give it to me. I love it. I love sweet coffee. Now there's a difference between a white cup with black coffee in it with no sugar. That's not me. I'm not that girl. Now I do want to be healthy, but if I want to be healthy, I guess I'll just drink green tea, because at this point I can't do no black coffee with nothing in it. It's just too bitter for me. So coffee can be very bitter. So there's a lot of fragrances that I have tried in the past that had coffee in them that gave me bitter coffee. So I would be one to tell you if this fragrance is a strong, bitter, kind of like nasty-ish kind of coffee, or if it's the coffee that you're looking for, like that Swedish coffee. I saw some people say that this was what they wanted Sabrina Carpenter Me Espresso to smell like, and honestly, from the reviews of that, it was so like mixed. I was gonna pick it up because I do love the original Sweet Tooth, and I love Cherry Baby, kinda. Like, it's not my favorite, but it's nice. Sweet Tooth is like up there for me, but when I saw coffee and then like Frappuccino vibes mixed with Sweet Tooth, I was like, yes, sign me up. But once I started seeing reviews, it was a lot of mixed stuff, that it smelled like grape soda, that it was super floral, that the biscuit was coming through too much, and honestly, I don't know if I want to smell like a biscuit. Now coffee, sweet caramel coffee, that's one thing, but like I don't really think I want to smell super bready. I'm saying we got that bread on us, but we don't want to smell like bread. This one doesn't have any notes of that, but the notes for this one did kind of throw me off. So I was kind of nervous, even though, you know, I did go ahead and order the travel size. I wasn't gonna go full bottle. I haven't even went full bottle with Carousel just yet, because I told myself I need to finish travel sizes first. So once I finish that, it will be a purchase. But this one has espresso affogato, rose quartz, which when I saw rose quartz, I was like, okay. Then I saw misted pearl. I have no clue what misted pearl smells like. I guess if I could picture picking up a bunch of pearls and smelling them, it would remind me of like a granny, because you know grannies always had pearls. I don't know why. It's something about it. It needs to be studied. Did everybody's granny have pearls? Okay, so Lucky Red Rose. So I was like, ooh, okay. There's rose fragrances that have coffee in them that I just don't like. For some reason, for my nose and for me personally, I just feel like rose and coffee don't mesh. Now there may be some people that beg to differ. They're like, girl, like rose and coffee smells really good together. Like, what is it? Rose Cafe or something like that. But for me personally, I just feel like no, because rose is just such a like prominent note, and then coffee is also such a prominent note that to me, like, I just don't see those clashing. I need something to balance out the coffee, and vice versa for rose. I don't like super prominent rose fragrances. I need some sweetness to balance it out. So at the end of the day, we're gonna need sweetness in there, and so that's what kind of scared me. I was like, ooh, this could be like a bitter coffee and then add rose in there, and it's a no. Ruby Orchid, hand-picked jasmine. This girl said not just regular jasmine, hand-picked jasmine, golden rum cake. Now that is the note that I was like, that note really intrigued me. So Let me go through these notes. I'm taking too long. Almond foam and blonde woods. I've sprayed this fragrance one time and I'm gonna spray it again on the back of my hand. So let's give it a good spray. So I'm glad that I did already spray this and kind of have my thoughts on it a little bit. So Casino in the opening is a legit blast of coffee. It is pretty strong. Like, it tingles my nose a little bit. Like, even right now my nose is like, senses is up. But once it starts to settle, I immediately get coffee with like a mix of a caramel. This almost reminds me of like coffee grounds, but not in a way that makes me like super turned off, like bitter. No, because it's mixed in with like the caramel. So I didn't really see a caramel note listed in this fragrance, but I'm assuming it could be the golden rum cake that I'm smelling. Almost like a caramel cake or something like that. So it's really sweet. It's really coffee forward. For me, from using this is my second time spraying it. I haven't picked up any florals. So that's a check in my book, because that's what I was nervous about. The florals can be in there all day to balance a fragrance out and make a fragrance not, you know, be overly sweet, because overly sweet fragrances can get on my nerves too, as much as I love a gourmand fragrance. So if the florals are there to kind of like balance stuff out, even it out, and round out the fragrance, then that's cool with me. But I don't pick up florals, which there was a lot of stuff like that listed. This fragrance doesn't change much, because I was like, okay, this is what the scent smells like. What am I gonna get when I get down to like the almond foam and the blonde woods and all of that? And for me personally, I didn't really get much of a different scent. So to me, this kind of just stays like a coffee caramel sweetness to add some depth to it. I definitely could see something like an almond foam, kind of almost like a foamy milk in a way. The coffee is definitely the heaviest in the opening. So if that's something that you were worried about, I mean, the coffee is definitely there, but I feel like it's most present when I first spray it. Like, even now it's kind of settling into something really sweet, but the coffee is kind of fading away. But like I said, it is like coffee grounds, coffee beans, whatever you want to say, like opening up a bag of that and smelling it, but just add this like milky, caramelized, almost cake-like aspect to it. It's really sweet to me. It's coffee, it has florals, but I don't smell the florals, and also the coffee is not bitter and it's actually sweet. Like, I'm picking up on sweet notes. So if you're somebody that likes coffee fragrances, this is absolutely for you. If you're someone that likes sweet coffee fragrances, or smelling milky, or smelling gourmand, any of those type of things, you will definitely really enjoy this. Like, this is for coffee lovers for sure. Somebody that really loves to smell like you just walked inside of like a coffee shop. This is what that smells like, because it smells like there is probably some black coffee being made somewhere in there, but someone over here also just ordered like a caramel latte. So it's just really sweet. There's no vanilla in here, but I'm just assuming that it's just this cakey, caramelized note from the rum cake, the golden rum cake, and the almond foam probably mixed together, making it like milky-ish. But I actually really like this. Now, not everybody will like this scent profile, because it's not really for everybody. You have to like coffee fragrances for sure, and you have to like gourmand, cakey, caramelized, milky type of fragrances. So if that's not your thing, and you think maybe you're gonna get coffee but the florals are gonna come through, for me, like I said, they did never come through. If you're thinking they're gonna come, for me, at least on my skin, they never showed up, which is not bad for me. So if you're someone that was expecting that with all of these notes listed, like, girl, I can't tell you that I picked up on any pearls or anything like that. This definitely is more of like a fall, wintertime fragrance. I mean, you can use it to transition, maybe just from going from something like really deep heavy to like a coffee sweetness, kind of like transitioning. But for me, I don't see myself wearing this in the summertime. I mean, even in the springtime, I maybe could, but in the heat, I just feel like this would do too much. Like, this needs cool weather for me. Like, this needs like a sweater, it needs like that type of thing. It's creamy and milky, so for me, I feel like that cold weather, when you get like a whiff of the wind blowing and you can smell yourself, that is what this is. It's a cute fragrance. I actually really like this fragrance more than I thought I was going to, just because I was nervous. Now, I do know that this house does know how to add some depth and some sweetness and some like base to their fragrances. Like, when they say base notes, bottom notes, like they gonna add some oomph in there. This one doesn't have as much depth as, take for an example, Carousel. I feel like Carousel just has this like really smoky, leathery smell at the dry down. This one, the blonde woods, everything just kind of stays within like this creamy, sweet vibe. So it doesn't really get, not saying that it's like youthful or that this is like childish or immature type of like coffee, like a frappuccino vibe. I saw one of you guys say that this smells like a sexy latte, and who don't want to smell like a sexy latte? I mean, not everybody does, but for me, I really love coffee. So for me, it's like I don't mind the smell of coffee, even on me. I let my boyfriend smell this because y'all know he's the king for saying that every single thing smells like vanilla. I let him smell this and he was like, oh, that smells like coffee. Y'all, when I tell y'all this boy, everything smells like vanilla. I'll spray something, he'll be like, that's vanilla. And I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, a lot of our fragrances do, but I'm a vanilla girly through and through. Like it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna change. So he can either have to get rid of me or fall in love with vanilla because it ain't going nowhere. But yeah, so he thought that this smelled like coffee. I don't know if he necessarily liked that, but he was able to say immediately what the fragrance smelled like. So I was like, okay, it definitely is a strong like. I don't know if I can say I like this one more than Carousel, because Carousel really did something for me. Like that one, I just love the journey that I went on with it. I love that it was like a caramelized apple. You got like a spin sugar cotton candy type of vibe to it, like so much sweetness, and then the florals were in the back. Same with that one. Got like this smoky cherry leather sexy sweetness. It was just so much. This one, I feel like what I have on my hand now is what is gonna stay. Now as this sits, it could get better, it could get different, but my thoughts as of now is that I really actually like this fragrance. It's a strong like. I would definitely love to hear how you guys are feeling about this in the comment sections down below. I already did hear from some of you guys that you're really enjoying this one, you really like it. I also heard some people say that they like it but they don't want to smell like coffee. So I can kind of see both sides of it, because me as a coffee lover, I love it, but if I didn't like coffee, like if I was a tea girly or a matcha girly through and through and I despised coffee, the last thing I want to smell in a perfume, you know? Like, or if you're just someone who even likes coffee but you don't want to smell like coffee, you might want a latte but you don't want to smell like a latte, then this one might not be for you. But for me and for some other girlies, y'all are really enjoying it. So I would definitely love to hear how you guys are feeling about this one down below. Leave me a comment, let me know if you tried it, if you plan on picking it up. I will keep you guys updated on this fragrance for sure. I'm gonna be like bunching up a lot of the new fragrances that I've just recently been trying out. I want to say ranking, not necessarily a ranking, but also just like an update, fragrance update. We're gonna do that because sometimes thoughts change, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I actually fall in love with it more. Sometimes I'm like, it's a strong like now, but then it turns into a love. Vice versa, it may turn from a strong love into just a like. So, you know, things change, and as stuff sits and as I wear it more, because sometimes it's also just the fragrances that I gravitate towards. I'm just chilling, no videos, no cameras, no nothing. Like, what am I really reaching for? I do gravitate towards new releases when I'm grabbing for stuff, but it's like, what out of those new releases really do I want to smell like? That's kind of what turns into like a love for me. If I just find myself wanting to grab it and wanting to smell it, or even if I just walk by my fragrances and I just like be like putting stuff up to my nose, like I just want to smell stuff. Yes, I will keep you guys updated, so make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on any of my fragrance updates. If you're curious about something or you're curious to see how things change or whatever, be sure to be subscribed, be on the lookout. Also, I post frequently in my community tab, so head on over to my community tab, so whenever I post about new stuff, you could, you know, hear about it, leave your comments. I'll be responding to all of y'all. Y'all are so funny and hilarious, and like we just be over there just talking, like either we're gonna get it or we're not. So I love that you guys are super active over there, and keep me updated as well. Like I'll keep you guys updated, you keep me updated, because like we all got our eyes out for these new fragrances, and it's honestly so many. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that I missed, a lot of things that I know I need to get to. So we gotta wrap this video up. So until then, you have to catch my next one. So bye.